Hey everyone, Rohan Dhawan here, founder of Uability, and inside of this video, I want to share with you an interview that I did with one of our clients whose name is Aditi, and she basically helps females who are basically at a career crossroad. They are unable to figure out what exactly they should do and how exactly they should make progress. They are stuck, and what she does is she helps them gain clarity and start a profitable online business or any kind of business that they are most passionate about starting. So inside of this video, I will be talking about who exactly Aditi is, how did she become a life coach, how did she start a business like this, why did she decide to join Uability, and how exactly she went about going from charging, I think, 5,000 rupees a session or something to over 1 lakh rupees that she's commanding from her clients. And let's just document the same over here. Now, just before we get started with the video, one thing I wanted to point out, I messed up. I did a blunder. So while I was doing the interview on Zoom, for some reason, only her side of the footage was captured and my face was not captured. And I know this might sound a bit weird, and you might be like, hey, this guy doesn't even know how to record a video. How is he going to help people get clients? I know it's kind of embarrassing. So, you know, don't believe me, then I mean that's all I can say. But regardless, if you think this is real, if you think this is genuine, and if you think Aditi is genuine, just go ahead and watch this video. It's filled with value bombs, and especially if you yourself are thinking what exactly you should do, how should I make progress, or if you are basically contemplating if I should join Uability or not, this video will really benefit you. So let's get straight into the interview. Awesome. So, hey everyone, Rohan Dhawan here, founder of Uability, and today I have Aditi, who's like her success story is truly inspiring, and I'm sure that she's going to explain that in this interview. So, Aditi, just basic stuff. Can you tell everyone a little bit about your background, where you're from, and how did you get into this coaching space? And I think you mentioned December, right, when you officially started implementing, or I think you were doing it before as a therapist as well. So yeah, walk us through your journey. That'll be very helpful.
First of all, thank you so much, Rohan, for even creating your ability. And secondly, for inviting me here. I'm very honored. So, a little bit about my journey is that I've been a therapist for almost 17 years now. And conventional therapy is extremely different from coaching.
Mm-hmm.
So therapy is really more about diving deep into the issues and blockages a person has, helping them through it. And there's really no goal. We wait to see where the person wishes to go and how they transpire going there. But in a coaching, it's very, very goal oriented. You may or may not have issues, but you don't dwell too much on them. You're focused more on the achievement and the action and the choices you make. So what was happening is in the last many, many years, I had been pretty comfortable, let's put it that way. Comfortable meaning stagnating
Mm-hmm.
as a therapist, because I kept getting frustrated over the fact that I could have only a set number of clients a day. I couldn't charge beyond a certain fee. And I'm a person who I love business and I wanted to scale it up. And I struggled with trying to understand how I could do that. Coaching is something that kind of happened to me about 3 4 years ago, and I started bits and pieces, but there again I hit the same roadblock, because I hadn't really defined a niche. I was doing all different types of coaching. There was relationship, there was business, there was this, there was that. So it was like a whole bhilpuri mixture of everything, and it was nice, it was fun, it gave me exposure and gave me an understanding as to which is the one I really enjoy doing. And I kept asking myself the question that even if I never get paid for it, which is the one I would love to do, you know? And then I chose the one which is what I'm doing right now. But I was skeptical because, like you said, we create assumptions, but we don't really know if that's going to work. We float it out there, we test the audience, we see what response we get, and then we go. So I think all of that sort of fell into place after Uability came into my life. It really, I'll be honest with you, Rohan. Before UA, I think I've experimented with 4 or 5 different huge international speakers and coaching, mentors, and nobody has been able to nail the specifics that I really wanted. Every program I've done with them has had something missing,
Mm-hmm.
and it was an endless source of frustration for me. Can I take names?
If you want, like, as long as they don't sue us.
No, they won't. I did get a lot from them, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
So people like Marie Forleo, Dr. Claire Zamet. I had Dr. Jeanine Blackwell. Unfortunately, she's also passed away now, but she was a mentor as well for a while. So all of them have been great in their space, and I learned a lot. But there was always a but after it. Yeah, but there's something still missing.
Hmm.
They're not able to give me the really tiny little things that I need on a daily basis.
Hmm.
And I kept searching, and I decided I'm never going to invest in these people. They're a waste of money. I'm not going to invest in anybody now. I'm going to do this on my own. And then a friend of mine who lives in Germany said that I know you're sick and tired and fed up of this, but I just saw these guys on Instagram. So he led me to your Instagram page. I said, यार इनके 400 followers है, इनसे क्या मिलेगा? And that was my first. But when
Yeah.
I read, yeah, when I read it, I was like, holy cow! I love the no BS energy. So then I just went through it. I searched you guys on the net, and yeah, I mean, I didn't really want to waste time, and I just hopped on board.
Awesome. Wow. So I have like so many questions. First, like, let's talk a little bit about therapy, right?
Yeah.
Two things that I want to know. First thing is, why exactly did you pick therapy? And you mentioned that, even if I'm not getting paid for this, I would love to do this for the rest of my life, right?
Yeah.
So can you walk us through a little bit, how did you enter this therapy world, and why did you decide to do this full time?
Wow. Okay. So therapy world kind of came to me because I was a colossal mess myself.
Hmm.
I think I had been through pretty much everything a person could think about being through, different kinds of abuse. I was an alcoholic, and I was a smoker for about 3 years. I did miserably in the corporate world for 10 years. I've even been fired from jobs, but never realizing that it's not for me. You get it?
Hmm.
So sometimes when you're that young, you don't understand that this is not a fit for me. Instead
Hmm.
of going to, thinking that, oh my God, I'm actually not built for this.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
There's a huge difference in the two.
Yeah.
Am I built for this? Or, am I doing something wrong? So I
Hmm.
always kept walking around thinking something colossally wrong with me,
Hmm.
and I battled that. I battled depression, Rohan, you name it. And, I dug myself into that mess. I had a slew of terrible relationships. I walked out on a marriage 2 years, two weeks before my wedding day. It was crazy, and I think I came to a point where it was do or die for me. I had to choose between either creating a life that I really, really wanted, or just go. I mean, just end it and start over, in the future somewhere.
Mhm.
Um, Therapy happened because of my search for peace.
Right.
I started learning therapy. Many people were learning it because they wanted to be a therapist. I wanted to learn it because I wanted to get out of the mess called Aditi,
Right.
and I wanted to set myself right first. I said, I'm not going to be able to help anybody
Hmm.
if I don't know my own way out.
Absolutely.
So I got to work, and I think I spent a couple of years just in therapy through various different courses. I must have learned about 10 different therapeutic modalities in 2 years. Like, I put everything
Mhm.
into it. I also got into a spiritual path. I went for like a 3 month meditation vipassana program, and I went through some really rigorous meditation techniques,
Mhm.
and very, very dark days, Rohan. I don't even want to get into it. But
Right.
though the darkness always, always brings you to the light, always. And
Mhm.
I think that's something everybody needs to remember, that if it is really screwed up today, tomorrow will be better. You have to just wait, you
Right.
know. Healing and therapy is also having plenty of patience and kindness for yourself.
Right.
Everything is a wonderful learning process, so that's how I discovered therapy. I saw the magic that it did for me, and the
Hmm.
thought was very simple: if somebody so messed up like me could come through this, anybody else can.
Mhm.
And then that's where my whole therapy practice started. Then a few years later, I became a facilitator, and I traveled all over the world conducting workshops and
Mhm.
programs, and I had a ball of a time. And a few years ago, my husband suddenly decided that he didn't want to be in the marriage anymore, and
Hmm.
he preferred somebody else. So the marriage broke down, and all of that happened. And now I'm a single mother. And even through that dark time, I was able to come out because of my therapeutic tools.
Right.
It held me through. And honestly, like everything dark in one's life, when you do hit the light at some point, there is a major revelation that you get about yourself, about who
Mm-hmm.
you are. You get to a version 2.0 of yourself or a 3.0 of
Yeah.
yourself. And you got to be willing to see how much you're, going to change. And every new situation demands something more out of you. Like when I joined Ability, it demanded a new version out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Muscles I didn't even know existed. I started exercising those muscles.
Mm-hmm.
So there was like this new Aditi that came out. And I'm always excited to see what a new energy or a new element in my life can create for me.
Right.
So yeah, that's my story with therapy. And
Okay.
as far as the second question goes, where you asked, would this be what I would be willing to do even if I never get paid for it?
Hmm.
I think that's very important because I want to always work for two reasons. One is to create impact, and one is to create profit.
Hmm.
If I am deeply in love with what I do, that
Hmm.
means I'll be able to do it for the next 3 years.
Hmm.
And it'll be an extension of who I am already. I don't have to be somebody else. I have to just be the best version of me there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is why the would you do it for free comes in, because it's something that you naturally already do.
Hmm.
So helping people, supporting people, being empathetic with people, inspiring people is something I've done as a child. And
Hmm.
it took me going through my dark phases in my life to realize that's actually me. I do
Right.
that pretty well, you
Mm-hmm.
know and then why not monetize what I'm already great at?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have joy doing it, then making money from it becomes so easy. Like, it doesn't even become a question of how do I make money. It just becomes, okay, when am I starting?
Absolutely. Did
hmm
you did you plan to become a therapist since you were like a kid and you did your degree and stuff, or
No,
circumstances
no
made you?
circumstances. All of my messes in my life actually pushed me to where I am today. So I'm
Wow.
grateful for every screw up of mine.
Right. I mean, because I'm just, I'm also kind of like new in regarding this field. So I want to know, do you need like some sort of degree or something to start off this practice, or like anybody can get started as long as obviously they have the necessary experience?
You don't need a degree, but there are enough courses and certifications out there.
Right.
Um, See, what happens is, even if you do coaching, for example, and if you're dealing with a clinical depressed person,
Hmm.
you may see the symptoms, but you won't
Hmm.
know how to handle it.
Yeah.
And it needs a very, very kind, very soft handling, which is very, very different from what we do in coaching.
Hmm.
So you need to know what that muscle feels like. So I do recommend learning something,
Hmm.
but it doesn't have to be a bachelor's degree or a master's degree. You don't need that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, going to the right people, understanding who are the ones who have weightage in that field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And because there are so many two-bit characters who offer courses nowadays in therapy, and there are so many frauds out there that it's not even funny.
Yeah.
Just learn from the right people. That's my point.
Hmm. Absolutely. And firstly, like, Aditi, congratulations or kudos to you that despite going through all of this, you are still standing here and not only just helping yourself, but other people as well. So, not a lot of people have the courage to be able to do so, and let alone teach other people to fix their own problems after that. So,
Yeah.
that's pretty impressive. But I remember initially you told me that you were dealing with everybody, like dealing with relationship problems. You were helping clients with various kind of things, right?
Yeah.
And as you said, it was a whole bhel puri, right? So now, what exactly do you do, and what exactly are you specializing in, or who are you helping essentially?
Okay. So let me just give you a bit of, prelude to that.
Hmm.
There are two parts of me. One is an insanely creative part. By the way, I'm
Hmm.
also an abstract artist. I paint. Like,
Already?
this is one of them.
Wow.
I have my exhibitions and all of that also
How do you
happening.
get the time to do all this? Like you got UWT, then your own clients, and then art, and then you said that
Yes,
you're a single mother.
yes. And I'm also an investor. I have invested in
Wow.
businesses. So there is this whole one side of me which is insanely creative, and the other side of me is a massive lover of business. And a
Hmm.
lot of people say, no, no, I'm not very creative, I'm more business person. But what I want to just let everybody know is that creating a business is creativity.
Hmm.
it requires the exact same energy in both. You have to allow for things to emerge the way they emerge.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get out of your own way 99.99% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
like when you start a business, your business is going to ask you certain things. You have to be willing to listen to your business. The
Hmm.
same way that when I start a painting, the painting asks me for colors,
Hmm.
it asks me for certain strokes.
Hmm.
So you have to have the willingness to listen to everything.
Hmm.
When you are quiet inside and you have the willingness to listen, you can create anything. So I wanted to merge those two.
Hmm.
That's one important thing. And lately I have been feeling, honestly, ever since I was a kid, I used to get very irritated with women.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is something I'm
Okay.
admitting for the first time in public.
Okay.
So I used to get irritated with women because I would find women very emotional, too much khitpate and too cranky, too much drama. And I've always been a very straight shooter. What is, I'll just say it, to a point of being foot in the mouth at times. But
Hmm.
my irritability and my annoyance with women, when a little bit of wisdom struck,
Mm-hmm.
I understood, is actually that I found many, many women to feel very lost.
Hmm.
Like psychology also says, when men connect to everybody outside, they look at ways to create security, money, and stability. When women look at the world outside, they're looking at relationships. So
Hmm.
these are the two very opposing points of view, and I was kind of stuck in the middle because I had both.
Hmm.
So now what I did, I wanted to combine all of these energies of mine. So what I do today is I help women who are at a crossroad in their career.
Hmm.
Yeah, and this can be that you've worked in the corporate space for a long time and you don't connect with the job anymore. You've taken a sabbatical to get married and have kids,
Hmm.
but you have a great education, you're capable of a lot, but you don't know what it is that you want to do, but you want to do something.
Hmm.
There is that urge inside, that yearning inside, yaar mujhe bhi kuch karna hai yaar, kuch
Hmm.
banana hai, apna banana hai, something that is an extension of who I am as a person, and not
Hmm.
just a woman, as a mother or a daughter or a wife. I want to move beyond those labels,
Hmm.
and I want to create something that's an extension of who I am, something that also creates impact in the world and creates profit.
Hmm.
And that's my niche.
Got it. So essentially, you're helping them, since they are feeling lost, you are helping them, figure things out. Now,
Yeah.
this figuring things out, you mean in terms of both relationship as well as their career and everything,
No,
right?
it's career only as of
Oh,
now.
just only
Yeah.
career.
What
Okay.
what I ended up actually doing is the clients who are with me at the moment have been so relationship focused that they've
Hmm.
ignored their own desires and yearnings and potential.
Hmm.
And when I started this program with these women, they realized, oh my God, there is a whole world to me beyond this man or this woman I'm seeing.
Hmm.
They realize that they have potential,
They
that
lost
they
their
have ability,
identity.
completely lost their
Okay.
identity.
Hmm.
And what that is what used to annoy me earlier, which
Hmm.
I have now realized I can actually help women with.
Hmm. Got it.
So I always tell a lot of people, even now, pay attention to what irritates you because there
Hmm.
is potential there.
Hmm. But don't you think that in like since we are in 2022 now, like I could see like a lot of men also facing this problem,
Yes,
like feeling lost and just not knowing what to do. And I know this for a fact because I've talked to a few people who are under the shadow of their partners, right?
yes.
So I mean, maybe it's like what society is like evolving us. So I think like this problem is now becoming like in both places. So maybe you will be able to expand later.
Okay, so like I always tell people, just because my niche is targeted to women doesn't mean I'm going to say no to men.
Hmm.
Yeah. Because I'm not having a singular sexist point of view in my work.
Right.
What I'm doing in my program is applicable for anybody.
Right.
Yeah. It's just that women tend to have lost their voice for a much longer time
Hmm.
than men.
Okay.
That's just the society that they're brought up in. They're groomed,
Right.
they're brought up to be someone's wife and someone's mother. Men know that when they grow up, they have to be the provider. Women are not taught to be providers. But my question is, what if you are taught to be a provider?
Hmm.
Would you be willing to create a home where you are the breadwinner and you're
Hmm.
married to a man who's a happy house husband?
Hmm.
Why not?
Hmm.
Maybe that is stretching it a bit far right now for a lot of women.
Yeah.
But there's hope, you
Yeah,
know?
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not gunning for that. But if that happens, would you be willing to welcome it?
Hmm.
Why can't you be the billionaire at home?
Hmm.
Yeah. And I manage everything, but I don't do everything every day. I'm not stupid. I break things down, I get organized. And that's also something that I teach in my program, that how do you do all of this? If you love so many things, how can you actually put things into practice that allow you to remain multi-passionate?
Hmm.
Because I know there are so many women who are multi-passionate and they're
Absolutely.
ambitious.
Absolutely. I,
Yeah.
in fact, remember, like, since we are on this topic, not too long ago, like, well, it was pretty long ago, when I used to do sales calls myself for Uability. I remember getting on this call with this female who was, I think we were at that part where, you want to sign up, and she's like, yeah, I'm dying to sign up. And then I said, okay, let's do it. And she said, but you know what, I need to ask my husband for his card, because usually I, take his permission to actually buy anything.
Right.
So I remember the conversation going like, hey, so when you used to buy something from Amazon or something, did you always seek his permission? And she was like, yeah, I have to. I have no other choice. And I was like, when are you going to flip the script? And when will be the time when your husband actually comes to you and says, hey, can I ask for your credit card OTP or whatever, because
Yeah.
I have to buy something.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's pretty interesting, and I'm looking forward to hopefully that day. I mean, abroad, I mean, it's really happening at a mass scale now. I mean, there's still problem there, but in India, I think there's still a lot of scope left, and I would love to see that kind of world. And firstly, kudos for taking this initiative, and I mean, creating such a big impact. And I really, really hope that your message actually spreads across a lot of females, and they take the necessary action to become the breadwinners in their families. So that's pretty interesting, Aditi. I mean, I loved your niche. Like, I mean, we should talk more about this after
Yeah,
this call.
sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
this is pretty cool. Awesome. So, Aditi, let's talk a little bit about. Oh, yeah, the other question that I had. Now, Aditi, you told me that you had taken a lot of courses and stuff. And before we get into what happened with UAbility, now the problem with a lot of therapists, and I don't want to generalize, but just based on my experience and the people that I've interacted with, a lot of therapists, they are not business savvy, right? And not just that, they think like, doing this expansion marketing and website and all that stuff, it's like, nah, I don't want to do it, right? And they don't have that investment type of mindset.
Yeah.
And not only just in business, but as you said, you are doing investment and other stuff as well, right? So my question is, how did you develop this kind of mindset to really invest in your self education, and not only that, but also invest to make more money? Like, how did you develop this mindset?
Uh, okay. So I don't like have a direct answer for you, Rohan. Um, I think I've always been interested in businesses. Okay, so I'm a South Indian. I come from a home where 80% of my cousins are IITians,
Oh, really?
including my sister.
Okay.
She lives in London and she's a major scientist with a major company.
Wow.
And, so that's my family, highly intelligent, very, very educated people. And I am the black sheep who's the mess who came out of it
Right.
and does something, but they're not clear what I do.
Absolutely.
So they're like, so you're a therapist, but you're also business, but an artist, but what exactly do you do? So now I at least get to tell them what my niche is, and my elevator pitch is ready. So that clears the confusion. But they still don't get it. But it's like, but why do women need help? I'm like, wow, what century are you in?
Yeah.
Um, so you see, the idea about being a business person doesn't exist in my family at all.
Yeah.
My dad was in the airlines. My mother was a teacher. I did corporate work just because I thought everybody does that in my family, so I got to do it. But I realized that when I would watch videos and explore the world around me, and I got into therapy, and I was exposed to so many amazing coaches and mentors in the US and Europe and Australia, And then I would look at how they've created their lives.
Hmm.
And for me, money is not about owning a boat or a jet or a mansion. I mean, ठीक है, you उन चीजों के लिए अगर खुजली है तो करो, no issues. But
Hmm.
that's not the reason. That's not the end. For me. For me, the end is that for me, money equals choice and freedom.
Hmm.
That if I do wish to do something, I should not even be thinking about it.
Right.
I should just be able to do it.
Right.
I should be able to support my family. If my parents need me, my sister needs me, my son, the man I'm in a relationship with right now, whoever it is,
Hmm.
that I shouldn't be batting an eyelid. I should have so much
Yeah.
that सवाल
You
ही
don't
नहीं
have to
उठता है.
think.
I'm
Hmm.
there for you. It's that. So for me, money has never been selfish. It's always
Right.
about supporting my near and dear ones, and
Mm-hmm.
improving their quality of life as much as mine. So I realized that to have that, I'm never going to get it in the corporate world. I'm going to have to probably struggle for a very long time. And I
Hmm.
hated the corporate world. And
Okay.
I'll tell you why. Because every boss I had, I revolted.
Sorry, every boss you
Every
had?
boss I had, I revolted.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my bosses found me very, very tough to deal with. So obviously, I went around thinking something's inherently wrong with me. Later, I realized that I'm a very instinctive person, that I follow my own instincts so strongly
Hmm.
that the willingness to listen to somebody else's BS is zero,
Hmm.
and I have a good lie detector with people. I can tell right off when someone's lying to me. My gut
Hmm.
just tells me that. Yeah.
Right.
So I found it very difficult to adjust in a place where there was so much BS flying around every day
Hmm.
that you think, damn, I'm the odd one out. Yeah. I mean, I can't be the only one who thinks like this, right?
Yeah.
Either something's wrong with me or the whole world is messed up. So
Mm-hmm.
haul ass, get out of the corporate world. But what do I do?
Hmm. So much politics and
Because
so much drama goes on, right?
yeah, and I knew that I had to be my own boss. Yeah. I
Hmm.
had to. I just had to do it. And
Hmm.
then that's where my interest in business came about.
Hmm.
Then I started to understand. Then I regretted not doing that MBA for a long time.
Hmm.
And then later I got over it. Then I realized I don't really need it.
Yeah.
Because business is something that if you have a head for it, you have the instinct for it, that's all you require. And no certificate in the world can, authenticate you in that sense.
Absolutely.
So I think that's just how it happened. It was life pushing me into corners which
Hmm.
made me uncomfortable enough to want to get the hell out of there.
Right.
Most often, we don't arrive at what we want to do until we realize what all we don't want to do
Hmm.
and
Wow.
how we don't want to do it.
I think everyone should pause and hear this like 2, 3 times.
Yeah. So if you're a person who's at a stage right now, कि मुझे ये भी नहीं चाहिए, वो भी नहीं चाहिए, वो भी नहीं चाहिए, I'd say you're on the right path.
Hmm.
You will very, very soon get to the point. Now I know why I was excluding and throwing everything out because this is what I wanted.
Hmm.
It's almost like it doesn't reveal itself to you. It's so magical.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like um the best part about this experience that you're telling me now, what most people would do, at least what I've observed, is they would have this tag and they would just deem themselves ki, yeah, I'm not just made for I'm not meant to be successful because I
Mm,
can't do this work properly, my boss doesn't like me, I'm just useless, right? And then
mm,
their confidence starts going down rather than
yes,
thinking from a perspective which is different, that maybe I'm not just perfect for this particular role and maybe I
yeah,
should try out something else. I
yes,
think I'm sure you must have seen that image, where there are like a lot of animals standing, there's a fish, there's an elephant, and there's a monkey, and they are saying like go climb the tree, right? And
yes, yes.
the equal test has been given to everyone. So I think,
True.
yeah, I think like that's very that's
Yeah,
very common in today's
yeah.
time, right?
Oh, I must share something very interesting, Rohan. This is the impact you've created, okay, and it's all your fault. Uh, lately, my son, who's 12 years old in grade 7, has decided that because I live such an incredibly unstructured life, that he too wants an unstructured life. So
Oh,
he's
really?
quitting his physical offline school and he's enrolled into India's first online school.
Wow.
Yeah. And he's like, if you can do everything online, including your business, why can't I do my education online? Because
Mm-hmm.
he said, brick and mortar school is outdated, mom. Come on. I mean, I don't even need school, but you insist. He says, all my answers are on the net. I'm like, okay, fine. So
Yeah.
he's like, you're doing your ability, you're doing your online business, you've created your niche. I want to do my stuff. I said, okay. I had no argument.
Yeah. I
So
mean, I
he's
I agree with
he's
him.
yeah, he's so cool. At age 12, he's invested in bitcoins and stuff like that. He keeps
Really?
track. Yeah, oh yeah, my
Wow.
God, total gamer. So yeah,
Wow.
I mean, I have to deal with a very interesting child, So it also pushes me, to
Yeah.
start creating things in place where I don't feel lost as a mom.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to worry. I was like that as a kid too. So he'll do good. He'll be
No,
fine.
I'm not worried at all. Honestly, I'm not. Even if he tells me tomorrow, mom, homeschool me, I'll say, okay, fine, cool. See,
Yeah.
I don't care. Like I said, I don't care about structure.
Hmm.
Yeah. The more the unstructured you are, the more the evolved you can be.
Hmm.
Because why? Structure creates safety net and it creates comfort.
Hmm.
You can go grow wings only when you fly off the cliff, right?
Hmm.
You can't just
True.
stand on the edge of a cliff and keep testing your wings and thinking, oh yes, I can fly. You have
Mm-hmm.
to jump off and build your wings on the way down.
Yeah.
So I always believe in being unstructured. I always encourage it. And I think my kid has taken a leaf out of that book.
I think that's pretty awesome, man. I mean, for school, I don't see the benefit of school, honestly, especially what's here, other than just the element of like interacting with your friends and everyone, which
Absolutely.
I think you can do even if you're getting homeschool. You could,
Yes.
schedule 1 hour, 2 hours, go play with
Yes.
your friends,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And
So,
that's his idea. He wants to pick a sport, he wants to pick something creative.
hmm,
And he said, I'll go there a few times a week and I'll meet other kids and we'll
hmm,
all be bound by the same love for that thing
hmm,
instead of being bound by a structure in school. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah.
Like, I've given birth to I don't know what, but
No, I mean, I think it's pretty good. I mean, I wish there were all this much like flexibility was there when I was a kid, or maybe even when you were a kid. But
yes.
unfortunately, like at least my parents were like, no, no, you have to go to school. So yeah, I mean, I'm
Yes. So
super glad.
online schooling, by the way, whoever's watching, if you have enough money, online schooling and starting an online school is a great idea. If
Yeah.
that's a niche someone wants to get into.
Absolutely. Cool. So we went a little bit off topic, but I'm sure this helped some parents watching this or maybe some kids. But yeah, so you were mentioning that okay, so you were in corporate, your boss did not like you, you did not like them, and you just didn't know what you were doing and you didn't like it very much, right? So
Yeah.
my question is what happened? Like how did you take the first step towards starting this business? Did you immediately just quit the job or what happened?
No, I quit the job and I had no job for about 2 years. I'll be
Okay.
honest with you. I used up all my savings and I used up my savings to learn therapy.
Right.
Yeah. And that is the time I knew that there was something wrong with me. I needed fixing from within.
Right.
Yeah. Because I can't be revolting and messing and, burning up everything in my life
Right.
just because I didn't like it. So, kuch to gadbad hai. Invest time in myself. And I think any time invested in yourself is time well spent.
Hmm.
you know
Got it.
uh, and whatever business you are in, whatever niche you are in, whatever it is that you do, please, please, please find the time to invest in yourself. You
Hmm.
must do it. So that's
Hmm.
something I encourage everyone to do, and when I did that for those 2 years, it really paid off. That's
Right.
when my entire work trajectory shifted.
Absolutely. If you don't mind, like, let's say, somebody watching this, they are feeling like maybe they just either quit their job or maybe they're doing a business or whatever, right? And they are at a similar stage like yourself. Maybe they are feeling lost career wise. They don't see that result immediately. Maybe they are suffering problems when it comes to relationships or even relationship with themselves as well. So how can that person who is watching this video probably, any steps or anything you can recommend to them to get out of that situation and find more clarity in their life? What can they do?
I think what I said earlier, right?
Hmm.
What are the things that you don't want?
Hmm.
Start with that. Make a list of all the things you don't want in your life, including emotions. Like, I
Hmm.
don't want to feel depressed anymore. I don't want to wake up feeling tired anymore. Even start from there.
Hmm.
Yeah. And make that list every day. till you get sick and tired of making that list.
Hmm.
And the day that you put pen to paper and you're like, okay, I can't write that anymore, I'm done. You
Hmm.
will get that from inside. That's the day you're going to write the things you do want to create.
Wow. Okay. So if, let's say, you're saying like if somebody is waking up late in the morning, right? So if they write it down every single day,
Yeah.
you are saying that one day they will get sick and tired and they would want to take action to fix it.
Yeah. And I'll tell you why. Because in our own head, when we are doing something that's not working for us, or we are doing something that or something is happening to us in our life and we feel like a victim. Because you feel like a victim due to life circumstances, or you can feel like a victim to your own choices also. So
Hmm.
waking up late in the morning is your own choice, and you're being a victim to it because you're complaining that you're waking up late, but you're not doing anything about it. That's when you're
Hmm.
being a victim to yourself.
Hmm.
Yeah. So when you write that again and again and again, it's like trying to eat your own BS every single day. You're going to get sick of it.
Hmm.
It's like, if something bad happens in your life and somebody asks you, oh, what happened? And you tell them a story. The next person asks you, Arey, but what happened? You tell them a story. And you have to tell that story to 50, 100 people. Won't you get tired of telling it at some point?
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
Yeah, that is what this exercise gets you to do.
Right.
It's getting you to hit that point within you where you cannot take your own BS anymore.
Hmm.
And
I
that is
love
the day you
the
will drop it.
Yeah, I love the part where you said that most people are like playing this victim mode wala game, because this actually I thought about not too long ago only. Like some people are like complaining that, oh, I'm overweight, I want to lose weight, or maybe I want to get up in the morning early, or whatever this might be, right? So they go in this victim mode, and what they try to do is they are then always complaining, and they want somebody who can like sit down and listen and relate to it, and then they are like, yeah, but this is life, this is what happens, it's okay, even I'm going through it. And they want like this support system around this old identity that they have, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And what I think now is, like, rather than saying that, rather than gaining that sympathy or trying to get that sympathy, you should be more towards like, just stop complaining, and like, I just don't do it. Like, I wake up in the morning and I do this because that is what my identity is, and I don't want sympathy regarding this. And I will fail sometimes.
Hmm.
I will wake up 2 hours late.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but my identity is that I will actually wake up every day, so I don't want sympathy regarding it. I'm not going to complain. So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a different perspective, but like I mean, somebody watching this, like, I'm sure this is going to help them a lot, right? So.
But Rohan, the thing is that you're also a very motivated person. Not everybody has that level. So
Hmm.
how do you get to that point?
Hmm.
So you let whatever energy is present right now, you let it run fully, let it run its steam. So if the energy of being a victim is present,
Hmm.
you will ghisao it till that energy is over.
Hmm.
उसको पूरा खत्म कर दो ना. Don't let it sit and fester. Because if you try to suppress it, it's going to find a different way to come out somewhere else in your life.
Hmm.
So if you love being a victim, then I'd say go love being a victim fully. Write every day on that piece of paper why you're such a big victim. Honor that energy and finish it off once and for all, so that it never comes back.
Hmm. And does it happen? Like, does it,
Oh
like,
yes, you'll be
yeah,
surprised. People get fed up in 5 days. It's like, oh my god, I had no idea I had so much crap in me. I don't know how people stand me.
yeah,
Oh god, you have no idea.
and then
I
they
give this
start.
exercise to a lot of people.
Okay.
Sorry, you were asking, and then they.
No, so like, they did do it for like, let's say, 5 days, and then what happens then? They want to, just stop it and like make a change.
Yeah, and they're like, in that moment, even if they get that one thing that they do want to do,
Hmm.
that gets the process flowing for the next one and then the next one. And I always tell them, be patient with yourself, because you may actually get just one thing a day, or you may get
Hmm.
20 things in a day. It depends on how much you're open to receiving from yourself.
Hmm. Got it.
So have patience for yourself.
And what if they make like a list of like 20 different things, and they resent all of those things? So as a
So that goes
therapist,
every day.
so like, would you recommend those people to start fixing those 20 different things together, or like
No.
how to go about
So
it?
so here's an interesting thing about the human mind. If you say I'm a victim, and
Hmm.
then I come to you to try to fix your victim space, you will
Hmm.
shut me down in a second.
Hmm.
That's how the human mind works. Very simply, why? Because being a victim for you has served you very well for years.
Hmm.
Although mentally you know that, oh, if I want to do this course with your ability, I cannot afford to be a victim anymore. Yeah,
Hmm.
because the course itself dictates and pushes you out of your comfort zone on a daily basis. And you feel
Hmm.
that discomfort inside. But you're
Hmm.
so used to being a victim that you want to hold on to it tightly, like your mother's sari, like, "Hey, this is my comfort zone. I can't get out of it." So
Hmm.
how do you then make that change?
Yeah. How do you
Yeah.
do it?
So I don't talk to people addressing their victimhood.
Okay.
I go somewhere else. I talk
Hmm.
about if they could dream of a great life,
Hmm.
what would it be?
Hmm.
If there is somebody out there whose life that they really envy, whose is it? And why is it? And what do they have that you wish you had?
Hmm.
So we start getting a very good idea about what are the elements that the person would like to have in their life.
Hmm.
Yeah. So they make a list. Oh, I like these 4, 5 things about this person. I think it's so cool that they get to do that. They have the courage. They da 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 da. Da. And then I tell them, something interesting, that you cannot see a quality in a person if you don't have it in you, because you will not be able to identify it and name it. You
Wow,
have
this
to
is
know that.
profound.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You have to know that that thing that that person is doing is called courage,
Hmm.
or that thing that that person is doing is called ambition. You won't know it till you have the seed in you. So
Hmm.
guess what? Every person that you've envied till date
Hmm.
and you have loved and wish you could be till date, you are already that. And here
Hmm.
you've been thinking your whole life that you're a victim.
Yeah.
And now what do you want to do? You have a choice.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
like even this happened with me not too long ago. And I was like, I was sitting with my team and I was like, oh man, a competitor A is bad, competitor B is bad, or this is bad about them. And then I realized one thing while I was speaking, maybe the fact that, and like I'm being so open right now, that maybe that I could be jealous of their ability to do something which I'm not able to yet, but I have that in me, and I'm like questioning, hey, that person is doing it, why am I not doing it, or why
Yeah.
should I not take action,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Hmm. Wow.
So this is also for people who have people around them who tend to get jealous of them. So if you
Hmm.
have somebody in your life who gets jealous of you, just go and
Hmm.
tell them like, hey, guess what? This thing that you're jealous about within me, you
Yeah.
have that too. So would you help me help you find that?
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
that's how you turn a person in your favor instead of attacking the jealousy or
Hmm.
instead of attacking the victimhood. Because nobody wants to lose being a victim. They have enough proof in their life that being a victim works.
Right.
You can't take
Absolutely.
away something so precious to people, no?
Absolutely. Wow, Aditi. So I think like this has been a very interesting interview. I mean, I'm sure that this is more in terms of the therapy world, and I'm sure that somebody like I want to do this because a lot of people who join us and people who are planning to join us or just anybody watching it, in all my interviews I usually talk about okay business stuff, niche, and all that stuff, but I think it's more of a mental game. At
Yes, it
least
is.
now I think a lot of
Yeah,
this, and that's why I wanted to bring you on here and take your point of view about a lot of these things which like keep a lot of people stuck. So
yeah,
maybe if they start thinking differently, I'm sure that this will help you. So Aditi, just quickly a few more things I wanted to ask you, because I've already taken a lot of your time. So Aditi, you said to me that you had taken so many international courses from different kind of esteemed mentors and stuff, and I'm sure they must be good at what they do.
yeah,
But what was the difference that you found? And you said that it wasn't everything; something was missing. So what
yeah.
was the difference that you found here at UABT, and what really helped you the most?
Okay, so I'll put it very bluntly. The UAbility course has actually dumbed it down. You've dumbed it down. Yeah, it's
Okay.
foolproof.
Hmm.
So any novice will get it.
Hmm.
They work on the assumption that these people need to know this, rest of it they'll figure it out on their own.
Hmm.
And that is the biggest difference in the two. So
Right.
for somebody like me whose main job is therapy and coaching, and I mean, I wouldn't say I'm not tech savvy. I'm definitely a lot more tech savvy than many of the peers and many people of my age.
Hmm.
But still, there are things like coding and things like that, which it's like, right? So, so all the resources that you've given, yeah, all the suggestions you've given has really nailed it down for me. Like, I didn't even know that I may have a need for this maybe in a year's time or 2 years' time. But
Hmm.
now I know I can place it on the back burner. I can revisit it in a year. That I'm hoping that from now till then, my business expands for me enough to take a subscription of that and start using it. I know now I have goals there.
Hmm.
But in their system, it's not that way. It's like, you need to know how to do copywriting. I will show you how to do it.
Hmm.
You need to know how to build an online course. This is the steps you do to take it. And that's it. It's
Hmm.
like, yeah, but how? I still don't know how.
Yeah.
Like, I know A, B, C, D is there, all the letters are there, but how do I sequence them?
Hmm.
That they haven't told me. They've not been willing to dumb it down for me.
Hmm.
And that's what Uability did. And that's the biggest difference. I'm so grateful. And I've attended a few programs of even mentors and all in India. It's been exhausting.
Okay.
And it's all been, oh, this month I have made 50 lakhs. You can grow to 70 lakhs. It's like an auction. I'm like, no, not happening. But tell me how. Like, tell me how. Teach me, don't show off.
Yeah.
You
True.
know, what I loved about you guys is you don't show off.
Hmm.
You actually teach. You make it very simple, and you tell me that step A. Then from there you go to step B, and you do that because you are aware you have all kinds of people coming to you.
Hmm.
So to me, that tells me that you guys work with a hell of a lot more awareness
Hmm.
and a willingness to actually participate in the success of your clients.
Hmm.
That is, you have the foresight, you have the vision, you know what points that they're going to hit and when.
Hmm.
Honestly, that's like therapy for me because that's how I take my clients. I know what are the milestones they have to hit and exactly how much time it's going to take them.
Hmm.
I'm able to foresee that because I have that sense. You guys have the sense to do this, and you've done that, and many don't.
Absolutely. And Aditi, as you were saying, you came across our Instagram, and that time, I mean, we still don't focus on followers, but when you saw that, oh, these guys just have these many followers, and what if they are,
5,000.
yeah. So, how did you gain that? Because in today's time, like how everybody is like, अगर उसके followers हैं तो वो बड़ा है. So, how did you, develop this? I mean, intelligence, or I don't know, whatever you want to say it. Like, basic question is, why did you pick us over everybody else? Like, especially
I'll tell
after
you why.
seeing just 5K
Yeah.
followers and stuff.
Because you were the first guys who actually told me you could create an online business without any followers. And I was like, thank you. Thank you, because I hate social media.
I'm the
you know
same.
oh my god, I'm like, I don't want to put out there on Instagram what I ate for dinner, what restaurant I went to, who I met. I don't want my private life out there.
Yeah, true.
I hate it. And I mean, I watch reels and I do all of that for time pass, but it's mostly dogs and cats.
Same.
Yeah, for me Instagram is that, and
Yeah.
I'm aware that my audience hangs out there. I'm aware of that, but I still don't want to make that effort of having 140,000 followers and all of it. It's too much work. And
Hmm.
for what? It's not going to give me the kind of returns I want. So
Hmm.
it didn't make business sense to me.
Right.
Yeah. And finally, somebody was saying that you don't have to have many followers. Okay, I got to hear what this guy has to say. What does he know that I don't know?
What's the secret?
Exactly, right? So that's what intrigued me a lot. And I was like, chalo bhaiya, I've met kindred souls. These guys are after my own heart. They're speaking the language I'm speaking, so let's get on board.
Right. Got it. And finally, coming down to results, Aditi. So you said that you started implementing in December, right?
Yeah.
So what has been the outcome of the same? Like I already know, but for other people, like tell us what have you achieved so far?
So I've so the program being the way it is, let me just initially let you know that I ran a poll for about 100 women,
Hmm.
asking them if they would enroll into a program if it contained these features and these
Hmm.
things, And I think about 95% of them said yes.
Wow.
And then I asked how much would they be willing to pay for it, maximum. And I
Hmm.
remember the maximum amount somebody said was about 35,000. So
And
I
you
was like,
decided three times, Zara.
yeah. And I was like, this is going to be fun. Let me mess with this and see where it goes. So those very people that answered the lowest, I actually got to them first.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow, that's
I
interesting.
actually, yeah. Because some of the questions that they answered were on point with what I was doing. It's not about how much money, I was going to charge or how much money they quoted they were going to give. Because I knew that at the end of the day, price is never a reason why somebody takes something.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's always what value can I give. So when I realized that they had enough faith in me that I could actually create an impact for them,
Hmm.
that's when I knew they couldn't say no.
True.
Yeah. So it's always about value, value, value. That's it.
Hmm.
Like if you're going to buy a shop, it's location, location, location.
Hmm.
In
Online,
online
it's all
courses, it's
value.
value, value, value.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
then I spoke to them. I said, hey, guess what? I've got something new that comes up. I know that you've done the survey, and these are the things that you said in it. So I've come out with a coaching program, and I'm wondering if you want to hear about it. Oh, yes, yes, absolutely. When can we talk? Da, da, da. So I spoke to them. I made the pitch, and they were on board. And three of them have said yes, paid the money. The fourth one is arranging for the money. So,
Right.
and I'll be honest with you, Rohan, I'm in the middle of creating my VSL. I haven't even finished it.
Wow.
Yeah, because the way I wanted to structure this was that, I have my money coming in from my therapy and all of that stuff. That runs my house, gets me
Hmm.
groceries and things. So I didn't want to spend too much first.
Hmm.
What I wanted to do is I want to start generating from this
Money.
business.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted some cash flows in, so then I could
Hmm.
use those cash flows then to construct the VSL, the site, click funnels, whatever else that needs to be done,
For
and then invest
those
into that.
non-techie people who are watching this, basically what she's saying is that she hasn't completed the course yet, but still she's achieved like such
Yeah.
phenomenal results, right?
Yeah. I'm
And
still yet to finish week 6.
yeah, I mean, the main thing that I'm sure everybody would be surprised to, I think to just say, just tell everyone how much do you charge these clients?
1,11,000 plus GST.
Wow, and that's
And
as we.
by the way, one very good news. Two of my clients who are more than halfway through the course feel that I'm charging too less.
Wow, and that's the best thing to hear, right? As a
Yes,
coach.
yes, yes. So
Awesome.
I think once I'm completely automated, I will be increasing my price.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And the fact is, and at least based on what I know, most therapists like they charge what 2,000 rupees per session or whatever, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And just going from that to that, like, how are you
yeah.
feeling?
I like this.
Yeah,
It's not about the money. It's just
it's
my
about the
own
value.
thrill. Yeah, it's my own thrill of having crossed my own limitations and gotten to a place where I have always known I could be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, why do
So
you think like after signing you will raise your price too? Yeah,
I caught it in time.
absolutely.
So
So
just to let everybody know, I charge 3,500 per session, and now it's 1,11,000. So that's a big
wow,
jump,
yeah, like
and it's
very
it's
big
still
jump.
less.
And she will charge even more, and I think we
Yes,
can do another interview when we get to that, but I'm sure it's going to be
yes,
very soon.
yeah, yeah,
So Aditi, just last two questions I have for you.
sure.
Anybody watching this video, let's say they are a therapist themselves and they are a coach, and they are like that old Aditi, right, who was charging 2-3 thousand rupees per session and feeling stuck and not knowing, maybe taking courses internationally or whatever. What piece of advice would you like to give to that old Aditi?
Don't get too comfortable. You
Hmm,
will regret it at some point. If not now, you will regret it later, and you will wish then that you had started sooner.
got it. Get out
Yeah,
of your comfort zone.
absolutely. And that is what you're going to be telling your clients. Listen to your own advice.
Absolutely. And Aditi, finally, anybody watching this, maybe they're a female and they are feeling lost and maybe they need help, they need advice. What's the best way to get in touch with you?
Well, if they can currently my website, which is a little outdated, I'll be honest with you. So
Okay.
it's just aditinirvan.com, or they can email me at aditinirvan@gmail.com.
Okay.
ADITINIRVAAN at Gmail.
Right. So what I'll do is I'll take Aditi's email and website and I'll put it in the description below. Anybody interested, go check her out. She's awesome. I mean, you could just tell from the video only. And yeah, Aditi, I want to thank you so much for taking out your precious time, and I want to congratulate you on the results you've achieved in a very short time, and that to be without even completing the course, right?
Yeah.
So I look forward to seeing what this will transform into once you have completed the whole course and you actually proceed further. And yeah, thanks again.
Thank you so much, Rohan. This has been a really fun hour with you.
Yeah,
And may you, Pratham, and everybody go way, way, way ahead
thank
and
you
have
so much.
tremendous success.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, cool.